with the Bradley Beal trade to Phoenix, we have a new big three. We have, again, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal. And what I wanted to do is I looked, and there's a lot. I understand that there's the whole big three era is kind of been known to be dead. Probably, I'm not going to say dead, or I'll say dying. But there are still big threes in the NBA, and there are still really good big threes in the NBA. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to give my top 10. I'm going to start from 10, go to 1, and I'm going to explain just a little bit why these big threes are placed where they're placed. Now, there are big threes that did not make my list that are incredible, or that are really good. Let me say that. Like, spoiler alert, the Cleveland Cavaliers, Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, and Jared Allen, they didn't make the list. I think Jared Allen's kind of bringing them down on that big three, but Donovan Mitchell, especially in the regular season, is incredible. You know what I mean? And there are some great players that don't necessarily or aren't necessarily on a big three team that didn't make the list. We're going to talk to Dame a little bit later, but you know what I mean? So let's just start with the list, and let's start at number 10. Looking at last year and going into next season, right now I have the Sacramento Kings, which is De'Aaron Fox, Sabonis, and Keegan Murray. I have them at number 10. De'Aaron Fox led the Kings to their first playoff win in God knows how long. Hold on. Did I just see something? Yep, knew that was going to happen. Sorry, guys. I just saw that Kyle Kuzma, a person that Washington got, declined his player option. We knew that was going to happen. We knew we wouldn't keep Kyle Kuzma. All right, back to the list. I'm sorry. De'Aaron Fox, Sabonis, and Murray. Number 10. De'Aaron Fox won the first ever Clutch Player of the Year award. Keegan Murray, he broke an NBA record for most threes by a rookie. So, and Sabonis, Fox and Sabonis both made an All-NBA team. That's how good they were. So, I have them at number 10. As currently constructed, at number 9, I have to go with Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, and Russell Westbrook. Now, as a team, it's not the best. They're not the best fit, especially when we talk about Russ and how much he needs the ball, and Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. They're not the best fit. But if we talk about just sheer players on a team, I have them at number 9 because injuries definitely play a huge part in why they're so low, but when they're available, we know how good Kawhi Leonard is. We know how good Paul George finished third. When he was with OKC, he finished third in MVP voting. And we know how good Russell Westbrook can be. The only thing is, again, Russell Westbrook may or may not be there next year or next season, and injuries are still play a big part in the lack of success that this big three has had, or that the big three, or let me just say the big two, which is Kawhi and Paul George, they've had with their tenure in LA. However, when healthy, there's still a formidable 1-2-3 punch. So I have Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, and Russell Westbrook at number 9. Number 8, I have LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves is really bringing down this list, bringing down this three. Not saying he's bad, but it's and with LeBron James, he's getting older, obviously. Anthony Davis is supposed to be the best player on this team by now, and his lack of consistency and I think lack of quote unquote dog that he has in him, I think that's kind of what's holding him back from being the best player, because anyone and their mama that watched the NBA and watched the Lakers on any given night understands how good Anthony Davis is. It's just the consistency part is what kind of fails him drastically. And LeBron James, even at 38, he'll be 39 next year. Even at 38 years old, is still one of the top players in the league. And is one of the biggest reasons why I have LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Austin Reeves. And let me not just crap on Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves emerged as a really solid third option last year, and he's going to get paid big time for that. And he was a key reason why the Lakers made it to the playoffs. And he had some really big moments in the playoffs, especially going up against the Grizzlies and Golden State. So I have LeBron, AD, and Austin Reeves at number 8. Number 7, I have Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and Tyler Hero. This is probably one of the more underrated big threes. The only reason why I have them so low at number 6, number 7, even though they did just make the NBA Finals, is because Jimmy Butler, and I'm not trying to just crap on Jimmy Butler, but as we saw from Jimmy Butler, he drastically declined in the playoffs. From the top, it was just a steep decline. And I understand that people are going to say due to the injury, but like he said, he kept playing and it didn't affect him. So I'm just going to go with the set. Maybe he was tired. Maybe he was gassed. I don't know. I think Bam Adebayo, his inconsistency, even though he had a good NBA Finals, I will shout out Bam Adebayo. He had a good NBA Finals. He's been inconsistent. And Tyler Hero, he has emerged as their third best player and probably their second scoring option. But, it's like, what is Tyler Hero's ceiling? In fact, what is the Miami Heat ceiling? Is it making it to the championship? Yes, but I don't think anybody outside of Heat fans thought that Miami had an actual shot of winning. But they did make it. So I have Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and Tyler Hero at number 7. At number 6... don't hate me. Please don't hate me. I have Joel Embiid, James Harden, and Tyrese Maxey. Again, let's not forget, Joel Embiid just won the NBA MVP. James Harden is a former MVP. And while, yes, James Harden is not the James Harden of old, he's not the James Harden that, of course, we grew to love in Houston. He still was. He had one or two game winners in the playoffs, and he had a couple 40-point games in the playoffs. And Tyrese Maxey is emerging as a young star in the league. I'm not going to go as far as a superstar, but with his offensive ability, with his quickness, that trio, when they are playing at their best, is hard to stop. Joel Embiid, again, he did just win the MVP, and I think he's the second best. One of the most skilled big men we've ever seen, second best big man in the league right now. It's hard to go against Joel Embiid outside of Nikola Jokic, but I have Joel Embiid, James Harden, and Tyrese Maxey at 6. At 5, I had Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Marcus Smart. Here's the thing. Marcus Smart is kind of like Austin Reeves, bring it down that 3. But Marcus Smart defensively, he did win Defensive Player of the Year last year. And I guess his three-point shot is getting better, even though he's not really a good three-point shooter. This big 3 is definitely getting carried by their big 2, which is Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. I'm interested to see, is Jaylen Brown going to remain a Boston Celtic by the start of next year or by the trade deadline of next year? I am interested to see, because I don't know if we've seen the cap or the ceiling for this Boston Celtics trio. Because Jason Tatum is Jason Tatum. He had a 51-point Game 7 against Philly. We know how potent of an offensive weapon he is. And we know that when he and Jaylen Brown devote themselves to the defensive side of the ball, when they were coached by Ime Udoka, they were one of the best defensive trios, trios, actually, because, again, Marcus Smart did win the Defensive Player of the Year. We just got to see. I don't know if we've seen the best of this trio, but I will say is the best of this trio is still a damn good trio, and that is, again, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Marcus Smart. At number 4, I have Giannis, Chris Middleton, and Jrue Holiday. The reason why I have them number 4 and not higher is because of Chris Middleton's health. And not only is it Chris Middleton's health, but Because of the injuries that Chris Middleton has sustained, you can see a clear decline in Chris Middleton. I'm not saying he's not good. Obviously, they're still number 4 on my list. But when Chris Middleton was at his peak, he was very underrated because, of course, he played for the Bucks. He played alongside Giannis Antetokounmpo. But while, yes, Giannis was the main reason that the Bucks won the NBA championship back in 2021. Chris Middleton was a huge part as well. Clutch shots. Chris Middleton is probably the only player on that team that can put the ball on the ground consistently and get his own jump shot. Drew Holiday is one of the most underrated players as far as offensively and defensively now. And we know who Giannis is. Giannis is Giannis, 2-time MVP, Finals MVP. He's Giannis, arguably the best player in the league. The reason, again, why I have them at number 4 is because of Chris Middleton's health is always a question mark, or has been a question mark these last few years since winning the championship, and even when he's played, his impact has diminished, probably because of the injuries. So I have them at number 4. Number 3, I have Steph, Clay, and Draymond Green. Now, whoa. I understand people are going to, well, the Lakers did this, the Lakers did that. What about this year? Let's really look at this year. If you want to be honest, I understand that a lot of people don't like Golden State. Don't get me wrong. I understand a lot of people don't like the whole dynasty thing. I get it. And people are happy that the Lakers beat Golden State because they think it's the end of the dynasty. Cool. I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying it's not. What I'm saying is, let's be completely honest and let's actually look at what we saw last year from Golden State. Steph Curry had one of his best statistical seasons, especially if you count the playoffs, since he won the MVP back in 2016. Klay Thompson had his best offensive season. Now, yes, I understand that in the second round of the playoffs, and he couldn't hit the side of a barn. And actually, towards the end of the playoffs, he could not hit the side of the barn. Like he just couldn't hit anything. But Klay Thompson had statistically, at least offensively, one of his best, if not his best season he's had in years. Klay Thompson. Now, yes, defensively injuries are gonna, when you hurt both your ACLs, like it's gonna be tough. But Klay Thompson had one of the best seasons that he's had in years, especially when we talk about offensively. And Draymond Green, I mean, yes, he's not the Draymond Green of old. None of them are the players of old. I mean, Steph Curry's 35, and both Draymond and Klay are 33, I believe. So they're both getting up there in NBA age. But Draymond Green still finished on the all defensive second team. So while, yes, you're not getting the 2015, 2016 Golden State Warriors big three, you're still getting Steph Curry, who is arguably a top 3 player in the league. You're still getting Klay Thompson at his best last year, was one of the best offensive weapons in the league, and Draymond Green, who is still one of the smartest players in the league and still finished all defensive second team. So I still see greatness in that. Now, and that's one of the biggest reasons why I am hesitant to say that the dynasty is over, because as long as those 3 are on the team. Oh, quick side note for people that are saying, oh, it's over with because Draymond Green declined his player option. Everyone knew that was going to happen, because now Draymond Green can sign a longer deal instead of just a 1-year deal. He can sign a longer deal with the team and be secure more. So I think that he's going to stay with Golden State. I think majority of people think he's going to stay in Golden State. It was just, instead of getting 1 year, now you can do another deal and get multiple years. So, but going back to it, I have Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green as the 3rd best trio in the league right now. Number 2, I have Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal. Yes, I understand we have not seen them play, but, and like I said so far back in this episode ago, You have three players that average 23 or more points a game. Last year, you still have Kevin Durant, who is Kevin Durant. You have Devin Booker, who was doing things in the playoffs offensively that I don't think we've seen. I didn't think he was even possible of doing. And Bradley Beal, again, I said this last episode. Bradley Beal is a really good number one. He's a great number two and a phenomenal number three, just because of his skill set. So I'm excited to see what that looks like. But that is going to be any given night. A lot of people are going to pick. The Suns have a good shot of winning a lot of games just because of those three alone and just how potent of scores they can be. So I have what in the world? I have Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal at number two. And out of respect, I have Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, and Aaron Gordon number one. They just won a championship. And kind of like I said when we talk about all the great big threes earlier in the episode, each big three does something different. Or each one of these big three, again, Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, and Aaron Gordon, they all do something different. Aaron Gordon has unlocked a defensive badge that I don't think he's ever had. Jamal Murray is probably the only player that can on that team that can put the ball on the ground consistently and get their own points and create their own shots and be a sniper from the three and get to the rim. And we know Nikola Jokic, arguably the best player in the league, for sure the best center in the league, for sure the most skilled center in the league. And they did just win a championship. And Nikola Jokic did just win Finals MVP and Western Conference Finals MVP. So that's my list. Number 5 or number 10, I have the De'Aaron Fox, Sabonis, and Keegan Murray. Number 9, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, and Russell Westbrook. Number 8, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Austin Reeves. Number 7, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and Tyler Hero. Number 6, Joel Embiid, James Harden, and Tyrese Maxey. Number 5, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Marcus Smart. Number 4, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Chris Middleton, and Jrue Holiday. Number 3, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green. Number 2, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal. And number 1, Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, and Aaron Gordon. If I left a big three or you don't like my placement, leave it in the comments. We'll talk about it. Oh, man, you stayed to the end of the video. I appreciate you. If you like what you saw, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you'll never miss any content from your boy. You can also go back and watch past episodes, past clips, and don't forget that the Unpopular Podcast, new episodes drop every Wednesday and Saturday. Appreciate you.